Dragging wine while holding her hand, they threw her at the feet of Henry, who was sitting on the couch having an evil smirk which was plastered on his face. Wine gasped when she fell on the floor. She looked up and saw him smirking at her. He bent down a little and said, "Welcome, my future wife, or should I say, my next prey." He chuckled and she gritted her teeth. "Wine, laugh as much as you want, but your end is near, Henry." He stopped and glared at her. He stood up while making her stand on her feet. "And who is going to end me, huh? Is that your coldly childhood friend? Speak." Henry shouted on her, and she looked at him expressionless while moving, trying to get free from his grip. "One, you already know him better than me, Henry. You know he will haunt you, and then you will pay for your sin. You will." She fell on the floor when Henry slapped her hard on her face. He glared and bent down towards her while saying, "You are flying so high, Wine, but let me tell you one thing, it's me who will end him. And before that, you will be the one paying for talking to me like that. I am so eager to see that. Do you taste just like your sister, or even?" Wine mom, you and me, we both know that Jungkook is more powerful than Henry, and when it comes to wine, no one can stop him. Wine's parents gulped with the thought of Jungkook. They knew things will take turn now, and he will surely come for her to get her. Here at his place, Jungkook was moving back and forth. He was thinking about Wine. 3 days were past, but still he couldn't get her out of Henry's grip. Soon Headguard came inside, taking Jungkook's attention. Update. Guard, boss, every preparation is done. All our men are already at the target and we're waiting for your orders. We can leave now. Jungkook smiled slightly and Guard left. Jungkook went towards the window and said, "This time there is no escape, Henry. I couldn't save my sister, but I won't let you harm Van. Let me get my hands on you and then I will tear you apart." Henry, don't worry, your aunt will be just like her sister. When I will get bored of you, I will send you to her. He pushed her and asked Price to start the wedding. One was glaring at him and at her parents. Price, do you take Henry as your lawful husband? One glared at Henry, who was smirking, but his smirk was vanished when she said, no, never. Henry glared at her along with her parents. Henry came forward to hold her, but she spit on his face, making him close his eyes. But next moment Henry was about to, or but a guard came towards him and said, being trembling, sir, there is an emergency. Jeon Jungkook have attacked our all base in different cities at a single time. All our men are he bought all your partners and they are taking their shares back. Everything is shattered. Henry stumbled back. Seems like his soul left from his body. He was destroyed. His whole empire was shattered. He pulled that guard while holding his collar and shouted, what do you mean? How can he do that? Wine, looks like your end is about to begin, Henry. Henry looked at Wine, who smirked at him, and next moment Henry slapped her that she fell on the floor. Henry took out his and pointed at Vine. You know what? Let's end this here. Next moment, Vine closed her eyes and she heard a gunshot, but she heard Henry groaning. And when she opened her eyes, she saw that Henry was holding his hand where the bullet went. She looked at the entrance and saw Jungkook pointing his. Jungkook, you are right. Let's end this here. Jungkook said while peering at Henry. He saw fuming in anger, and when he saw Henry, it added more fuel in him. Jungkook looked at Vine and his eyes softened. He smiled softly at her and she replied back. Vine, Jungkook, you are here. Jungkook hugged her tightly and said, I had to, Vine. I had to get my life back. I had to get you back. I told you, no one can separate you from me. Vine broke the hug and Jungkook saw tears in her eyes. She turned towards her step-parents who were trembling in fear. Remember what I said. Jungkook, don't leave them. They were the part of all this. Her step-parents tried to run, but Jungkook had stopped them and took them away. Jungkook, don't worry, love. I won't leave anyone. Wine smiled at him, but he smirked and pulled her hand and took her towards the priest. She looked at him shocked. Jungkook looked at Price and said, now why don't you start the real wedding? Wine looked at Jungkook shocked and then he said to her that he had already talked to the priest about all this. Price started the wedding and they both played their part. Jungkook pulled Wine towards him and whispered, Remember, I told you no matter where you are, you will always end up with me. 1. I know Jungkook. From the start, I knew that I belonged to you. Jungkook whined passionately and she replied back. They both were lost in their world, sharing love with each other. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos.